Hi everybody, this is Bobby with bobbystamps.blogspot.com, and I'm going to show you how I made this card today. It's got a lot of colors and different color combinations going on. I hope you guys can see that pretty well. We're going to use the new Ombre Stampin' pads from Stampin' Up, and this one is Calypso Coral. We're going to use Rich Razzleberry and Emerald Envy, and we're going to do just a little bit different on the cardstock because the Bermuda Bay matched really well once I did the Emerald Envy. Once I stamped it, the color combination kind of matches. So we're going to use for our card base is Calypso Coral, and this is one of the cards that will actually flip open in this direction. So I'm just going to grab my bone folder and we'll get that ready to go. And then our next piece of paper is from the Brights Designer Series paper, and it's two-sided, but we're going to use the stripes. And that piece of Designer Series, this piece is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and then we have a piece of Whisper white cardstock that's 3 3/4 by 5, and then we have a tiny strip that we're going to use for the sentiment. The stamp set we're going to use is again the Frosted Medallions. So we're going to use again the big one, and then Wishing You the Happiest of Days is where we're going to get our sentiment from, okay? We're also going to use the ruched ribbon, and this is the Peekaboo Peach. And then we're going to use the White Perfect Accents. So we'll go ahead and I'm also going to be using the piercing mat. I just like to stamp on that. I just find that I get a better image if I do that. I'm going to put a piece of paper, grid paper down so that way I don't get my piercing mat messed up. And then I always just like to feel around to make sure that I have the Whisper White centered in the middle of my piercing mat, so that way I'm not going to stamp off the side and ruin my project. So I'm going to move you guys over just a bit because it's a little bit far away for me to try to stamp. So what we're going to do first is we'll grab the block we're going to use, and okay, we're going to go ahead and get our stamp mounted on our block, and I'm just going to adjust the camera just a little bit. Okay, that looks much better for me. Okay, so we've got our stamp on our block, and we're going to use the Emerald Envy. And then as you can see, this one, we're going to go lighter and then darker. And if you've watched any of the videos about this, you see that there's different sections right there, so you could actually pop those out if you didn't want to use one of those colors. But I want to use all of them. So what I'm going to do first, and you don't want to go straight because you'll get these lines in your image. So you want to kind of go in circles, and we're just going to go all over to make sure we get a nice even stamp on that. And I'm going to put the lid on there because I don't want to stamp in the wrong color. Okay, and then we're just going to put this one down directly in the center of our paper. Just hold it there for a few seconds, let the ink soak in. You don't have to push really hard, you just want to let all of the ink get in there. And you can kind of see where that side's darker. We kind of zoom in a little bit so you guys can see that side up there's like the darker side, and that's the lighter side. If you guys can see that. Let me zoom you back out. Get my thumb out of the way. I think I got you too close. Hope I'm not making anybody sick. So we're going to clean the stamp then. And then what I did was I just went in with the Rich Razzleberry. And I kind of did the whole stamp just because when I turn it, I just wanted to make sure that I was getting the right color. So we're going to go down in this corner right here. You don't want to get up in the green and the Emerald Envy. So just be cautious of that. So we're going to stamp that there. We're going to ink it back up. We're going to do the same thing up here in this corner. Just press down on it. I feel like I got off my piercing mat a little bit, but that's okay. And then I can clearly see that I have ink there, so I'm just going to just make sure that I've got enough there. And then I'm just going to put a little bit of one there, and then I'm going to go ahead and do just a tiny one right there, like so. Ooh, that showed up really good where it was gradient, the different colors. So I'm cleaning my stamp off again. Woo! Doesn't feel like I have it on there good. Now let's grab Calypso Coral, and we're going to do the same thing. And this time we're just going to go wherever we need filled in, that corner. And you always want to do it in a circular motion for these. And then right here, I'm going to squeeze this one in. I really don't want to go too far in because I don't want to get on my rich razzleberry, but I think I might have. Oh, that's okay, it's not too bad. That looks really good. I like that actually. If I do say so myself. Okay, so how does that look? I love it. You can see the different gradient of the ink. So I am very happy with that. So we'll go ahead and put this out of the way for right now. Actually, we'll go ahead and bring this back in, and we'll just go ahead and do our sentiments while we have our piercing mat out, okay? I have to grab my rich razzleberry. Sorry about that, guys. I thought I was going to do it in basic black, and in the last minute I decided, nope, I'm going to do rich razzleberry. So this is just the regular rich razzleberry. This isn't the Ombre one. This is just my regular rich razzleberry. So I'm going to do the little like wings on the end. So I need to make sure that I'm kind of leaving on the edge to do that. So that looks good there. Get this closed up. And then I'm just going to grab my paper snips and just go right in the center and snip it, and then come back in and make a V there. We're going to do the same thing hopefully here and just snip it off. Grab all of our little pieces that flew all over the table. Okay, then we will grab our snail. I'm still learning where everything is, where I redid my craft room. It's like, where did I decide I was going to put that at now? And then we'll get this centered on the Calypso Coral piece of paper. And then we're going to grab our ribbon. And then I'm just going to kind of eyeball it and make sure that we have enough. And then we're going to, I didn't want the ribbon to be up over this, so I just made sure that I put it down like this. So that way my medallion was still showing. And if anybody's interested, I just posted on my blog my next online class. It's Jar of Haunts, and it's a really cool class. We're going to make 6 cards, 3 cards of 2 different designs, and then we're going to make 2 treat boxes. So for this one, what I'm going to do is I just cut a piece, and I'm going to angle both the ends of it. I'm just going to bring it through over towards the side, I'm just going to tie a little thing like so. And you can double knot it, but I'm not going to mess with that right now because I think it's going to be fine. And then I'm just going to cut those just a little bit shorter. They ended up being just a tad bit longer than what I needed. Okay. So we can fuss with that until we can get it to lay exactly the way I want it to lay. Then I'm going to just go ahead and we'll put our sentiment on while we're here. So we're just going to grab some dimensionals. Let's see if they'll fit on here, and I think they will. Just need to be careful when we're lining them up because we don't want them to show when we go to put them on the card. And I kind of thought this sentiment, as long as it was kind of balanced the card with the ribbon at the bottom. So I'm just going to leave that right there until we put this on. And we'll just center this piece now on top of the designer series paper. Grab the sentiment and we're just going to put it, it's hard to see when my fingers are in the way, guys. I think maybe, nope, that's too far over. Let's move it really quick. Right about there looks good. And then with the white perfect accents, we're going to grab, not the largest one. Maybe I did use the largest one. Let's try it and see what that looks like. Yep, we'll just go with that one. And there you guys go. How easy and quick was that? This is kind of a fun pop of color card, I think. So I really like the way it turned out. And if you want a supply list, you guys know what to do. Visit my blog. It's bobbystamps.blogspot.com. Thanks and God bless.